I would love to love Japanese as well, and I think we should definitely do it sometime. But let's get started with this morning's work, huh? So obviously, kind of we did strength out of alignment on Monday. So today we're going to do a little bit more structured work. Okay, I say structured. There's going to be still kind of some work that's going to be out of alignment things, but it's going to be more familiar to what we are normally used to. So what we're going to get started with, guys, is very, very simple. Okay, straightforward into Gen Mob. Okay, so just sitting onto this nice low position. Hands can face down. We'll start with our headquarters first, okay, with our neck. We'll go into yes, which is going to be simple, tucking the chin onto the chest. Chin comes up to the ceiling. Make sure you're not just throwing your head back, that you can actually feel the muscles in front of your neck come into play. Okay, so when the chin comes down, you're going to feel things through the back of the neck. Obviously, when you lift up, you'll feel things through the front of the neck. From here, we'll go into no, which is going to be simply looking side to side. Shoulders remain still. From here, we're going to go into our okay, which is going to be ear to the shoulder. Okay, so from here, we'll take it to cat-cow. So this is where we're going to have our hands under our shoulders, knees under the hips, okay? And we're going to take a breath in. We're going to push the world away from us. Tuck that chin onto the chest. As you breathe out, we're going to drop the belly, pick the chest up, eyes start to gaze up to the ceiling. So just on your own, nice and simple, transitioning between the two positions. And take it a little bit slow, okay? Remember, spine likes nice, slow, controlled movements. So you can really focus on trying to move and get into spaces that we normally don't. Okay, from here, same thing with the cat-cows, but look at this, okay? Just kind of taking a little bit of freestyle so we can come make ourselves big. We can start to throw, okay, whatever shape position we want to. Essentially, we want to make sure here, guys, is the elbows are still locked out. We can still sit back. We can kind of really lean to the sides, whatever way we want to go. We're just going to do this for a minute, okay? So nice and straightforward. Once you're ready, let's get it on. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Where we at? Beautiful. Okay. So whichever direction you choose to go, try kind of reverse as well. So it's not just an up and down motion no longer. You can throw a rotation in there. Okay. Try segment as much as you can from the spine in multiple different ways. Okay, last one, finishing it off. And then from there, we're going to go straight into our threading the needle. So this is where we're going to take our arms under the shoulders, look to the same side you're going, reach as far as we can. Then an alternate side. Now try to make sure the hips are stacked over the hips are stacked over the knees at all times. And try and draw that belly button to the back of the spine. Okay, so the movement is happening from the upper to mid back, or the rib cage is the thing that's trying to rotate. Okay, and try to limit the movement from the lumbar, the lower back. Again, trying to marry the breath with the movement. Okay, last one. And then once you've done that, okay, big toes can be touching together. Knees can be a little bit wide. We're gonna stretch our hands in front of us onto our fingertips. From there, wrap the armpits. So remember, you're gonna hide, okay, the shoulders, the armpits, and then we're gonna pulse for 10 and hang out for 10 seconds. Here we go. We're gonna bounce. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Keep pulling yourself down for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. From here, move to one side, doesn't matter which one. Wrap the armpits and let's bounce. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Pull yourself down for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Making our way to the opposite side. Again, fingertips, wrap the armpits, you're stable. Then let's bounce. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Keep pulling yourself down for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Making our way to the middle and then back it up. Okay, so we'll go straight into a little bit of wrist prep, guys. Okay, so very, very basic. What we're gonna do today is put the thumbs and the heel of the palms together like so, okay? Straight onto the ground. Fingers are nice and wide as always to increase that surface area. Push down through your fingertips. The heel of the palm is being pushed into the earth. Shoulders protracted, another way of saying round the upper back. And then we're gonna just rock forwards. And then we're gonna go into one big kick-ass circle. Find a way to that forward place and then reverse that circle. Okay, so nice and simple, nothing too crazy. So we will be working with some planche lean type of work, okay, to effectively load the shoulders a little bit more, a little bit later on. And it's really critical that we have adequate wrist, okay, prep. So effectively for us to lean as far forward as possible, wrist is one of the limiting factors, okay? So it's really critical that we warm the wrist up. You wanna make sure these fingertips are nice and wide. And you want to start to kind of already start to engage them, right? So start to think about how strong can you be in your hands when you do these wrist prep work. So often we talk about regress it, you know, work to the appropriate intensity. Here, you should be gradually looking to increase the intensity. Okay, and that could simply mean just leaning a little bit more forward, you know, throwing a bigger circle and things of that nature. Last one. And then back it off. Just shake it off. From here, we'll simply face the fingertips back towards our knees. And what we're gonna do here, okay, is just sit forwards and backwards like we normally do. Okay, we can just kind of do that for a couple of reps, just to kind of allow the forearms to stretch out a little bit. But what we're gonna do from here, okay, something we did on Monday morning is we're gonna start to bend the elbows back towards the hips. Okay, as we do this, we can allow the heel of the palm to peel off the ground. Just take a pause and then push the hand into the ground, lock the elbows out, push the world away. Okay, let's do this kind of 4 more times on our own. So elbows come back, shoulders drop forward a little bit. Take a little pause always, and then boom, lock it out. 3 more. Now in that pause at the bottom, you can just shift your weight side to side a little bit. Okay, look to explore slightly different sort of position. Okay, so you'll feel the back of the knuckles obviously come into play. Last one for me. And slowly back it off once you're done. And again, just shake it off so we can get some blood back in there. And from there, we're going to go into the back of the palm. Okay, so nice and simple. Okay, remember, if this is too hard, you can simply sit back and you can have your hands, you know, back behind you or like either side, just to deload it. But most of us should be able to just have it in front of us, push the world away as usual. And we're going to just sit forwards and backwards. And remember, as we sit back, as we close the joint, that's when that little strain is being felt to the wrist, so it's slightly uncomfortable. And that's okay. Obviously, pain isn't. So just find that place for you this morning. And then just come to that strain, okay, that slight discomfort, pause there. And then you're going to just shift your weight side to side, okay? So you're just on that line, okay,
of that pull, you know, where you start to feel that wrist, back of the hands, then you're just moving side to side. Maybe from there, you can start to throw a little circle, okay, a full circle. And it's probably not as big of a circle, okay? So just be mindful. You will see that as you fall to the side and sit back towards the heels, that's when there's a little bit more loading. So just be mindful. Just keep alternating those circles. Okay, from here, just one set of our gorilla grips. So we're going to squeeze those fingers as hard as possible. As we do that, we're going to sit back as far as we can for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the fingers, slowly back it off and shake it off. Okay. And the last thing we're going to do, guys, okay, just on the hands, okay, is our first knuckle push-ups, okay? So, or heel raises, whichever way, okay, whatever you want to call it. So effectively what we're doing here is hands, okay? Again, fingers nice and spread, okay? From here, we're going to look to bring the heel of our palms up. So effectively, we're looking to kind of be on the back of the knuckle. So this is the knuckle front. We're going to be on the back of the knuckle, right? Now, some of us may not be able to come all the way up, and that's okay. We can just sit back a little bit and work with what we have. With this, though, the more we are on top of our fingers, if not slightly forward, that's how we're going to load this up, okay? So we're going to have the heel of the palms come up, and then we're going to come down to touch the ground with the heel of the palm for counts of 3, 2, 1, then up, okay? Hopefully, we can load more of these, things that make a peace sign, and then take these knuckles here, the index and the middle index, okay? That's where you want most of the weight to be on. So if we're good, hands in front of you, push the wall away, heel of the palm comes up, leaning forward slightly, and here we go. Coming down for 3, 2, 1, up, 3, 2, 2, 3, 2, 3, 3, 2, 4, 3, 2, 5, 3, 2, 6, 3, 2, 7, 3, 2, 8, 3, 2, 9, 3, 2, 10, and rest. Okay, from here, we're gonna go straight downstairs. Okay, so you guys know what a runner's lunge is. So one knee up, one knee down. We're gonna have, okay, both hands in line with the front feet on the inside. And then we're gonna tuck the back knee. So tuck the balls of our feet, pick the back knee up, and then keep the back leg straight. So lift the back of the knees up by squeezing your butt on the back. And then you're gonna rock forwards and backwards. From here, keep everything still. We'll drop the elbows closest to the leg, okay, the front leg for 3, 2, 1. Rotate, and then we're gonna reach for 3, 2, 1. Let's repeat this. 3, 2, 2. 3, 2, 2. 3, 2, 3. And 3, 2, 3. 3, 2, 4. 3, 2, 4. Last one. 3, 2, 5. And 3, 2, 5. Down. Let's change it up. Okay. In line with the front feet, pick the back knee up, rock forwards and backwards initially. Okay, lift the back knee up. Let's drop the elbows for 3, 2, 1. We're going to rotate and reach for 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 2. 3, 2, 2. 3, 2, 3. 3, 2, 3. 3, 2, 4. 3, 2, 4. 3, 2, 5. And 3, 2, 5. And down. Skydiver, which is going to be on our front. Just a gentle reminder here, guys, we're going to do this for 10 reps. The first one, we're going to hold it for 5 seconds. Okay, and the intent here is pretty straightforward, using everything along the back of the body to pick the front of the body up. So remember, the palms will face up to the ceiling, head is down. We're going to initially rotate at the shoulders. So excellently rotate, squeezing the shoulder blades together. That's going to allow me to pick my chest up. Okay, that's the upper body. From there, the lower body's butt's being used to lift the legs clean up off the ground. Okay, hopefully the thighs are off the ground as well. Here we go. We're going to come up, hold the first one for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. And 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Rolling onto our back. Last one, guys. Okay, straight into our glute raises. So feet about hip distance apart, toes are pointed up. Okay, make sure they're not flared out, hands on the ground. Slight posterior tilt. Let's drive the hips up and let's go. Kiss. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20. And rest. Okay, so all we're going to do is standing up. We're going to start just preparing the feet. Okay, so what we're going to do here, guys, we've been working pretty hard on things like the squat prep, okay, on Monday, and even kind of, the work that we're doing on Tuesday, get bent sessions and stuff like that. We're going to just get nitty gritty with our ankles. These are ankle specific drills. So we're going to look at 4 things, okay, the outside edge of our feet, the inside edges of our feet, the ballments of our feet, so the heels are up, and then we're going to be toes up, okay? So effectively, we're going to look at, the feet in 4 different, corners, essentially. So all I want to see right now is, okay, if you're going to struggle with the balance, it's just easy to just find a wall, okay? Just for like, so you're a little bit more stable, okay? But effectively, what we're going to do here is pretty straightforward. We're going to slowly just shift our weights, roll our ankles to the outside edge of our feet, okay? We're going to feel slightly stretch and load through the outside of our feet, okay? So if we just kind of roll to the outside and lean to the side, and then slowly back onto the feet to the other side, okay? Just nice and gentle, nothing too crazy. Notice I'm nice and tall. My legs are still straight at the moment, okay? So effectively think about you're trying to show the underside of your feet as much as possible, okay, without bending the knees. And if you can, try stay over the feet as opposed to leaning back, okay, or hinging forward for that matter. Just nice and tall. So from side view, just so you guys are clear, we're just rolling side to side. Nothing crazy. And then from here, all we're going to do is we're going to come onto the inside edges of the feet. So again, for this, guys, everybody's going to have slightly different stance depending on obviously what your capacity is. But the general rule of the thumb for the time being is, legs can be as wide as they need to be. So when you collapse the knees in, so you're going to collapse the knees in like so, you can be on the inside edges of your feet. Now, if your knees or thighs touch together, that's like about a good distance to start off with. So, if it's too easy, you can go a little bit wider and look to kind of, find a little bit more of a roll in, okay? Now, again, from sideways, what I do want to make sure though, is that you're not hinging at the hips like this, okay? You're still trying to keep that posture relatively nice and tall, and you're going to allow the knees to travel forwards, boom, and then back up. These are like inside squats, if you think about it, okay? So just nice and gentle, nothing too crazy. So the ankles are obviously rolling in, but really for most of us, we're going to feel this in the hips, okay? Hips are internally rotating in a little bit. So again, think about the 1990s that we normally do. Okay, nothing too crazy. Okay, collapsing in. Again, trying to keep that posture nice and big. Okay, so again, it's better to be closer with the feet and more stable in your movement as opposed to trying to set a PB and feeling really uncomfortable and every rep feeling slightly different to the previous. Just nice and gentle, nothing crazy. Just getting used to allowing the knees to travel in. Okay, collapsing your feet. So again, this time you're trying to see the underside of your feet. Okay, but with the outside edges being lifted. So this hand thing, I don't know why I like to do this. It just helps me for some weird reason, but it is not necessary. Last one. Beautiful. So from here, we're going to go to the front of the shin, guys. Okay. So for that, we're going to be looking to pick the toes up off the ground. Okay. So heels are on. The main thing with this is as we pick the toes up, okay, if I'm facing you guys straight forward, think about on Monday when we did strength out of alignment, we were working in this diagonal plane. Okay. So we want to be kind of, fairly aligned. Okay. For lack of a better word. So when we do pick the toes up, we want to make sure we're not flaring our toes out. Okay, and that's going to happen as we fatigue because we want to use the big, powerful muscles of the back of the legs. We want to make sure we are, boom, straight up. Okay, so what I want to see happen here is we're going to simply, okay, stay on our heels. So again, from sideways, okay, I'm picking my toes up. Okay, I'm trying to keep my toes up to the ceiling as much as possible. And I may need to just, slightly shuffle side to side just to keep balance, and that's okay. We're really kind of just picking the toes up, nothing crazy. Okay, and you can just move, forwards and backwards a little bit, maybe side to side, whatever feels, okay, is necessary for you to stay balanced on top. So again, posture's nice and big, just toes are pulled up to the shins or the ceiling as much as possible without the toes flaring out or splaying out. Okay, so again, you may feel a little bit burning sensation to the front of your shins, and again, that's okay. Okay, just another 10 seconds. Try keep picking your toes up. So again, we're trying to light up all the muscles of the front of your shin. Okay, and then slowly shake it off. The last one we're going to go into is ball movements of our feet. So the heels will be off the ground. So again, imagine that, okay, train track. Okay, just like the first knuckle push-ups, okay, think about, the peace sign, so the index and the middle, okay, so same thing, kind of onto the toes, but the big toe and the index toe balls of the feet. We want to come up, okay, as much as possible, but without sickling out. So we don't want to be splaying our heels out, okay, so you shouldn't be feeling the weight more onto the small balls of the feet. Try to keep everything to the big balls of your feet. So heels are up as high as possible, okay, quads are firm, glutes are on, posture's big. I'm not kind of hinging at the hips. And again, if you need to sort of, shuffle side to side to keep balance, that's totally fine. Okay. So just transferring that weight a little bit side to side, that's cool. Even if that means you have to walk forwards and backwards. But trying to stay as tall as possible, nothing crazy. Okay. Or you can stay still as well. And just think about the weight, okay, actually rolling into the big balls of your feet as opposed to what it wants to do, which is sickle out a little bit, okay? So nice and smooth. Again, hands can come to help you a little bit. Okay, last 10 seconds. Don't lose the balance. And down. Check it off. So we had 4 things. We had the outside edges, okay? We had the inside, and then we had the toes up and then the heels up, okay? It's 4 things. So what we're gonna do here, guys, it's nice and straightforward, nothing too crazy. We're gonna just go into a little bit of rep scenario here. And effectively what I want you to do is, we'll start with the outside edges, just like the way we started. You can stay with this, okay? Slightly leaning side to side. Or you can do what I'm going to be doing, which is to one side, you're going to look to lift one leg up and then the other one up, trying to be on the outside edges at all times, okay? We'll just do it for 10 reps per side, okay? So again, choose the right thing for you. Don't go crazy, try to set a PB, okay? So outside edges, okay? If you're doing what I'm doing, which is picking one leg up, you still have to be stable, okay? Here we go for 1, 2, there is a little pause, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, halfway, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, and rest. Shake it up. We're gonna get to 15 reps of our inside squats. So as a reminder, we wanna make sure, guys, the posture's big, okay? If you have to hinge at the hips, we're losing in the battle. The load is no longer on the feet or the hips, okay? So remember, toes are facing forward, legs can be a little bit wide. I'll do 45 so you can see this. Okay, 15 reps. We're gonna collapse the knees in, inside the edges, take a pause, and 1 done. Here we go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Checking it off. Okay. So from here, what we're going to do, guys, okay, toes are up. And if we can, we're going to find a wall. We're going to get the tib raises. Okay. So for those of you, okay, kind of who don't know what a tib raise is, most of you should know what a tib raise is here. But for those of you who don't know, just the butt, okay, against the wall or something solid, feet are slightly away from the wall. Now, the further the feet away from the wall, the harder it becomes. Okay, so just be mindful. But what we're going to do is we're going to just put our hands on top of our thighs, hinging forward. So we're falling forward. From there, we're going to pick the balls of our feet up clean. So toes are pulled up to the ceiling. And then for 25 reps, we're going to touch the big balls of the feet on the ground, not the small toes. We're not sickling out. We're tapping, okay, the big balls of the feet on the ground for 25 reps. Here we go in 3, 2, 1, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Pause, keep pulling them up. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20. Last 5 coming up. Keep pulling them up. Keep pulling them up. Here we go. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Okay, shake it off. Okay, so from there, again, you may need a little wall just to kind of support you. We're going to go into heels up, but calf raises. Okay, so again, with this, guys, making sure we're not sickling out, we're not collapsing in. Think about the big balls and movements of your feet. We're going to get 25 reps. I'm going to use the wall as a little assistant. Okay, so feet are roughly under the hips. Okay, we're going to bring that heel up, tuck the butt a little bit. Okay, so I'm nice and tall, I'm not collapsing. From here, big balls of the feet, that's your home. Here we go, kiss the heel on the ground and up, that's 1. Let's go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down, rest. Check it off, okay? That's good, all right, everybody good? So we've got one last thing, okay? Just through the front of our legs a little bit. This is a diagonal stretch, okay? So we're gonna look at a little bit of the back as well, the spine. We're just gonna do a set of these, plant the seat in our head, because this will be one of our key warm-ups for this particular phase. And then we're gonna get into some structured work, okay? So we're gonna have our knees on the ground. So again, if you've got a hard floor, okay, you may wanna get a cushion for your knees. I'm just gonna grab a mat for myself. So this is a variation of diagonal stretch, okay? So we can do this standing up, but we're gonna be doing a bent knee, kneeling variation, okay? So just so we understand the big concept, the big idea, okay? Now, this is gonna be a little bit like Simon says, okay? So There's a little bit of coordination involved. We're going to be getting into spaces that we normally don't, not in this intensity anyway, okay? And as always, we want to make sure we are stable. And the reason we want to make sure we're stable is because once, you know, our foundation is strong, we can translate or attempt to translate a lot more force through, okay? So working strength or, you know, things of that nature becomes a little bit easier. If we're struggling with a balance, if we're unstable, it's like trying to shoot a cannon out of a canoe, right? It's never going to work out well for us, right? So this is why we have the knees on the ground rather than kind of feet off the ground. So effectively what we're going to do is on our knees, nice and high, we're going to have one leg in front of us. Move back a little bit. Okay. We're going to have one leg in front of us. So from front on, okay, we have one leg, but rather than kind of being straight, what you're going to do is you're going to come to the outside edges of your feet, okay, into the ground. So you're going to push this leg, okay, that's in front of you into the ground. So from sideways, okay, boom. So what I want you to think is you can keep the front knee slightly bent if that's a little bit easy for you to push into the ground, okay? Now from here, the back leg side, okay, the back hand, so Simon says, okay, so back hip, back hand, you're gonna put it across the opposite shoulder. Now the motion is this, I'm pushing my hips forward using my glutes, okay, so I'm coming forwards in this trajectory, and then I'm gonna wrap myself around. So my hips are coming forwards and around. And the way to think about this is this, as I push my hip forward, I'm going to keep driving the hips forward. I'm gonna try and find my hamstring, or maybe the calf, or maybe the heels. And then I'm gonna come nice and facing forward. That'd be one rep. Okay, so again, I'm coming forwards and back. Slight pause, I'm gonna come forwards. So we're gonna do 10 reps. The last one, we're gonna hold for 10 seconds on the back. Now, just another little thing here, guys. This is not a license to just arch and dump into the lower back, okay? If you're feeling this just all through the spine back, that means you are not doing anything from the hips, okay? And you're just extending using your spine. It's not nice, it's really uncomfortable. This is not what we're looking for. Most of this should be, we call it diagonal stretch, should be coming through the front, the thighs, front of the hips to front of the body a little bit, okay? That's the goal, okay? So let's give it a crack, okay? From here, okay, outside edge, back hip, back hand to the opposite shoulder. Here we go. We're gonna drive our hips forward and find something in the back of our legs. Facing forward for 1, and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Last one, we're going to hold 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom, facing forward. Okay, standing up, shake it up. Okay, let's go into the second side. Bear with me. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Which side am I going? That's it. Okay, so nice and straightforward. Okay, we have the front leg in front of us. Push that into the ground. Backhand. Okay, opposite shoulder. We're going to come forwards and wrap around. Here we go. Okay, hips come forward and around. Reach back, touch something. That'll be number 1. Forwards. Here we go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Last one. Here we go. We're going to hold it for 10, 9. Keep pushing your hip forwards. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly facing forward and rest. Awesome job, guys. Okay, coming up, shake it off. Hopefully that was not so weird. Okay, quick drink of water. And then we're going to go into some structured work. So I'm just painting this picture in your head right now. So today's objective, okay, is we're just going to introduce the movements. Over the next, few weeks, we're going to be just increasing the repetitions, okay, progressively a little bit. So effectively, we'll do a little bit more next week, a little bit next week, after the week, okay, then finish. So we're going to do this for 4 weeks. The movements are pretty straightforward, okay? But as always, it's the first week, so we just want to make sure we're across what we're trying to do, okay? And also, obviously, these are fairly new movements to what we have been doing, so just wrapping our head around that, okay? So we're going to do 2 lower body movements and 3, stuff in front of our body type of stuff. So last block, we were doing things like hollow body, arch bodies, okay, and the side bends and things like that. So effectively looking at the core set. Now we're going to be a little more dynamic, okay? So meaning this phase is more around, okay, can we actually move and do the same thing that we were doing in isolation in the previous block, okay? So that's where the work is progressing. So we're going to start with very, very simple dead bugs. Now you guys know, okay, so everybody on the call should know, dead bugs for us is more around, trying to marry the breath with what we're trying to do. So pretty straightforward, okay? We're going to be onto the back of our body. And some of the key details I want you to be mindful of is try keep your shins, okay, parallel to the ground. So not kind of being lazy here, okay? Toes are pulled back and my legs are slightly apart, somewhere in line with the hips. They're not touching together. From there, okay, everything to the back of the body is onto the ground. From here, we're going to take a breath in. Opposite hand, opposite arm. Okay, so sorry, opposite hand, opposite knee comes down. And then, now when we do this, we want to make sure we're not lifting the back up off the ground. Of course, the further I go away from my body, the straighter the legs, okay, the harder it becomes. We don't need to set a PB, okay? The work will have this compounded effect. We want to make sure you are touching the heel, okay, heel of your feet, okay, onto the ground, just kissing, okay? Just try keep your knees slightly soft. Okay, let's give it a crack. Nice and simple, nothing crazy. We're just going to go into 10 per side, so like we normally do. Okay, here we go. So on our back, hands are up, everything pushed into the ground. So posterior tilt, lower back is firmly on the ground, upper back and back. Breath in, and 1, 3, 4, 6, 8, 10, 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, pretty straightforward, nothing too crazy. Okay, from here, we're going to go into our long splits. Okay, so this is effectively looking at hip flexors. Okay, so the front of our hips, one hip is being lengthened, the other hip is trying to work in this shortened position. So here's a couple of the cues that I want to be mindful of. Okay, today we're going to just kind of work nice and simple, just 6 reps per side. Okay, just keep it straightforward, but we're going to spend a little bit more time on the tension. So with this, we're going to hinge at the hips, okay, find that leg behind us, and then stand nice and tall. This is not a traditional split squat where we normally have that hinge and both knees touch the ground, okay? The intent here is for the back leg to be up off the ground all the time. Now, again, think about the big balls of your feet. That's where the most of the weight should be, okay? Rather than sickling out. So look, my front leg should not be peeling to the side. If that's happening, I'm already losing the battle. So press your feet into the ground. From here, keeping the spine nice and tall. This is the critical thing. I'm going to allow my knees to travel as far forward as it can over my toes. I can soften my back knee a little bit, but the key thing is this. I need to keep my posture nice and upright. So if your heel comes off the ground slightly, that's okay. From here, we're gonna push back up and again, arrive at the top, okay? Now this feels a little bit awkward. So look at this. If your back leg is so far, guess what? You will never allow the knees to travel forward, okay? So think about the front knee as being the priority, okay? So allow the knees to travel forward. If you feel you can go forward, but your back leg is limiting, shuffle that back leg a little bit, okay, till you find the spot, and there we go, okay? This is my split position, okay? And again, this should feel slightly different as we go, okay, get deeper into the sets, all right? So if everybody's ready, let's get it on. Okay, so nice and tall, posture. Again, on my tempo, okay, so we're gonna travel forward. Try pull your chest into the thighs without hinging. Take a pause, glutes should be on the back leg, and then boom, come up. 1. Drive your knees, glutes are on, take a pause, and 2. Drive forward, up, 3, that's halfway, here we go. Glutes are on, hips are nice and square, and up, 4. Drive the knees forward, glutes are on, up, 5. Driving your knees forward, glutes are on, posture, up, and that's 6. Okay, to the other side. Okay, nice and tall, hinge, move back, posture up. Okay, so again, nice and strong through your feet. If we're ready, let's travel forward as much as we can, trying to cover that calf with your hamstring. Take a pause, then drive up. 1, make any micro adjustments as you need to. Traveling forward, posture, and 2. 3. 4. 5. And 6. And rest. Okay, so we should be good there. From there, guys, we're gonna come straight onto the ground. Now, we did dead bugs prior, okay? So we were on the back, we were moving our opposite hands and legs. We're gonna get to crawling ISO, okay? So again, we're gonna be looking to contralateral, meaning opposites are gonna work. But this time, okay, with the gravity trying to pull us down to the ground. So we're gonna be on our fours, okay? Fingers nice and wide. So our wrists are already prepped. Making sure we're strong and stable through the shoulders, so we're always pushing the world away. Movements of our feet, the knees come off the ground ever so slightly, okay? Now again, from here, we're gonna go into 10 reps per side, so 20 altogether, same thing as dead bugs, okay? What we're gonna be doing here, guys, is opposite hand, opposite leg off at the same time, okay? And we're gonna be looking to hold it there for a couple of seconds, okay? So if everybody's good, okay, onto the ground. Push the world away. We're gonna lift the knees up off the ground. Make sure your knees are under your hips. Okay, push the world away. Grab the ground with your fingertips. Breath in and lift. 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 5, 1, 6, 1, 7, 1, 8, 1, 9, 1, 10, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 5, 1, 6, 1, 7, 1, 8, 1, 9, 1, 10, and rest. Okay, beautiful. On our feet from here, we're going to Cossacks. Again, Cossacks, we're just going to keep 6 reps per side. So pretty straightforward, okay? And this is what we're going to do, guys. Legs are going to be wide, okay? And we're going to be throwing rotational Cossack. So that is effectively me saying, okay, as we choose to sit into one corner, we're going to pick our toes up, so we're on our heels, and then we're going to be looking to face back. So from this side, okay, as we hinge the hips, bend the knee, we're gonna peel the toes up. Now we're gonna look to turn those toes up to the ceiling and back behind us using the butt. As we do this, we're gonna look to sink down further, okay, down, and then plant, and then come up, okay? So a couple of details again, just so you guys are super clear. Like the split squats, okay, on the bent knee side, when you do come down, think about the hamstring trying to touch the calves, okay? So what I mean by that is, as we sit down, rotate, we're gonna try and get down as much as possible. The intent needs to be there, okay? 6 reps per side. Here we go. So nice and tall. We're gonna squat, turn the toes up, sit down, pause. 1, all the way up. The other side. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. Last 2. 1. And 2. Beautiful. The sun is beaming. Let me just see if I can put something across there so you can see me better.
We can still see you pretty well.
Okay, so that doesn't really work as much, I don't think. If I did that.
It's not really causing a problem, Vic.
Okay.
Oh, it wasn't.
Cool. Let me carry on then. All right, so from here, guys, okay, our the fifth move that we're going to be doing is our tuck sits. So again, we worked a bunch of our hollow bodies in the last phase. We brought it up to 45 seconds for multiple sets. So we know we have the isolation strength from the front of the body, okay? What we're going to do here is we're going to make ourselves small and then make ourselves big, okay? So we're going to be onto the ground. And we started to lay this down in the last phase. We're going to do 8 reps. But the trick is we're going to pause for 3 seconds at the top. Okay, so this is a movement just so you guys are clear. So feet are going to be off the ground. My lower back is on the ground. I'm going to have my hands overhead. My head is off. When I come up, I'm going to sit in this nice tall position. So a couple of things. I can have my toes touch the ground. I can have my hands touch the ground. Because the key thing is to think spine is nice and long, not rounded like this. Okay, of course, if you want to challenge yourself, you can have your feet up off the ground. You can even have your hands up off the ground. Okay, but again, we're trying to do 8 reps. And again, there should be nothing being dumped into the lower back. We're using the front of the body, okay, on our way in. Now, when we come down, just as important, we are slowly lowering ourselves down using the front of the body, as opposed to allowing the body weight and the gravity just to slam us down to the ground. Okay, 8 reps, 3-second pause at the top. Here we go. Okay, hands up, feet up. We'll go in 3, 2, 1. Up, 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 2. 3, 2, 3. 3, 2, 4. 3, 2, 5. 3, 2, 6. 3, 2, 7. 3, 2, 8. And rest. I forgot to come down then. Okay, so effectively, guys, okay, that is our tuck sits or tuck ups. We're going to do one more set, okay, of the whole thing. So we were started with nice and straightforward dead bugs, okay. Then we went on to our long splits, then on to our crawling isos, then, okay, our rotational Cossacks, then finishing with these tuck ups. But today we're just going to do one more set, okay. We want to kind of go back to back, just so you guys feel the compounded effect. Our main intention is going to be trying to get, okay, 3 to 4 sets of these over the next 4 weeks, okay, back to back. So if everybody's good, we're going to start with our back again onto the ground, into dead bugs. Okay, 20 reps. Again, remember coordination, use your breath to manage the work. Okay, tuck your hips, feet parallel, take a breath, and let's go. 2. 8. And time. Okay, from here, long splits, just 6 reps for the day, okay? From here, finding your feet nice and tall, okay? Posture up, make sure you're not cranking to the lower back, glutes are on, driving our knees forward, okay? Glutes should be on, take a pause and push. 1. Pause, keep driving forward as much as possible, and up for 2. 3. 4. 5. Last one. 6. Okay, to the other side. Here we go. Okay, taking that stance, nice and tall. Okay, hips are facing forward. From here, traveling forward. Okay, glutes are on, trying to get long to the back, short from the front. Drive up. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. Okay, onto crawling isos. Onto our front. Guys, make sure, okay, if you're feeling this too much in the quads, that probably means you're falling back. If you're feeling too much for your wrists or your traps, that means you're probably falling forward. Weight distribution should be even. Okay, here we go. Fingers, knees under the hips. Pop the knees off in 3, 2, 1. 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 5, 1, 6, 1, boom, 1, 8, 1, 9, 1, 10, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 5, 1, 6, 1, 7, 1, 8, 1, 9, 1, 10. And on our feet, we'll go into our rotational Cossacks, 6 per side, 12 altogether. Take a stance. And sitting down, rotational. Take a pause, sink down further. And 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6, that's halfway. 7. 8, 9, 10, 1, and 2. Into tuck sits, guys. Okay, 8 reps. Remember, 3 seconds pause at the top. Legs into the ground with the spine and up. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 2. 3, 2, 3. 3, 2, 4. 3, 2, 5. 3, 2, 6. 3, 2, 7. 3, 2, 8. And rest. Okay. From there, quick drink of water. There's only one thing that I want to share with you for today. That's for next week, planting a seed in our head. Okay. And then we're going to wrap it up. So at the start of the call, I talked about planche leans. Okay. So hopefully you can see the space behind me. Okay. So planche leans, guys, we're going to go for 30 seconds. Doesn't sound very long, but it will feel like eternity. Okay. So a couple of big ideas here is this. Again, we're using our ability to create tension through the body for the front. This is an isolation movement. However, what we're doing here is we're playing with our body angles. Okay. And in particular, okay, trying to bring our shoulders as far forward away from the middle of the body as possible. Now that means we're going to be loading these boulders, these delts, like no tomorrow. Okay, so far you saw, even in the crawling isos, I talked about that weight distribution being nice and even. Here, basically, we're biasing the upper body, but we cannot neglect the tension throughout the body. Okay, so this is what the planche lean looks like. Now, straight off the bat, if you have really poor wrist flexibility, okay, or mobility, whatever you want to call it, then it's better to have your hands slightly turned out, okay? This way you can still access range through the wrist, okay? Because if you have your hands straight forward and you've got poor mobility, it's very hard to throw that shoulder over, okay? Now, obviously don't take the piss, so we shouldn't be that far out. We still need our fingers, okay? So I still want to kind of make sure you are grabbing the ground with your fingers, okay? So this is what we're gonna do, guys. Feet are going to be together. This is like a straight arm plank. Okay, so nothing too new here, but keeping those eyes up. And again, really important, our head is up a little bit. So we have the muscles of our neck on. So rather than tucking our chin or looking at our toes, basically, eyes are gazed up. And then you're going to slowly, as I count, you're going to lean forward, okay, hopefully onto the laces of your feet and looking to see how far forward you can go. But the key thing is this, as you fall forward, you should not be losing that protraction, meaning you should not be losing the ability to press the ground away. Now, it's very, very easy to load the traps, the neck here. Try keep the weight around this region. So think scap push-up, yeah? So we want to keep the weight still on the shoulders, pushing that world away. So one more time, what we're going to be doing here is starting in plank. I'm going to say 3, 2. As I'm counting down, you're going to, okay, laces the feet. You can see I'm trying to lean as far forward as possible. So my shoulders are as far forward as possible. And again, for most of us, this may not mean we have to go to the other side. It could simply be just a slight lean, okay? It's just a slight different stimulus. Cool, so if everybody's ready, let's turn sideways, hands on the ground, 30 seconds. The bum should be tucked into posterior tilt and the bum should be below the shoulders, okay? Here we go. Last little work, then we are done. Hands on the ground, okay, about shoulder width apart. From here in 4, 3, start to come forward already, 2, 1, here we go. So tuck the bum, but drop the bum. Eyes are gazed up a little bit. Keep spreading the shoulder blades. Keep pushing that world away. Legs should be firm. Keep pushing the wall away. And time. Woo! Okay. All right, bring it in, good people. Let's have a quick chat. How you guys feeling? Okay, so we're going to be doing that a little bit more off next week, obviously.
Going from 12 to 20